to the cheer. No need to ask which tandem are the home team. The opening point goes to the underdogs. After a pulsating rally to get this semi-final underway in the men's doubles tournament. Bisecting the Malaysians perfectly on that overhead leap to get their first point on the board. Every point that the Koreans win is going to be cheered enthusiastically by the crowd here. It's a healthy crowd in attendance as well here at the Yeon Stadium. In stark contrast, points won by Malaysia met with near silence. 2-all. So Go v Shem surrendering that serve. Korea lead 3-2. So Lee losing that serve, it's tied at 3. Kiong to serve for Malaysia. Misjudged. Comfortably in. As you watched it, hoping it was long. Shem splitting the gap really effectively, finding the open space in court. 5-4, Yu to serve. Under significant and sustained pressure there. Unable to dig that one out. And Lee just keeping his pair in front, 6-5. Lee to serve. Just listen to that explosion of applause from the crowd. You with the emphatic finish. What a rally. Longest one of the match so far. It's the Koreans who come out on top. Such rapid reflexes. The shuttlecock always coming back in the blink of an eye towards Govee Shem. Could only put the final shot wide. So at the interval, it's a 6-point advantage for the number 1 seeds, Yeon Seong and Lee Yong-dae. Produce some terrific doubles play to eke out what is becoming a commanding advantage over the Malaysian pair. Lee to serve. And the momentum well and truly in favor of the number 1 seeds now. Important that Malaysia use this. It's a brilliant overhead. So Tan to serve. Tan getting that one all wrong. There's a forceful overhead on the previous shot from Go. And when it came back, Tan just not positioning his racket head or controlling the shot as he would like. What a brilliant point. Defensive play at its absolute best from the Koreans. Lee was under a sustained barrage. It kept coming back at his body. Then he managed to turn it around. And the finish was provided by you, but the defensive qualities really came to the fore during that point. 14-6. They both had their rackets poised, with both Yu and Lee. In the end, it's come from the Koreans' point of view. So they let it drift out of bounds, edging closer towards concluding this first game. Their experience and ability really beginning to tell in this semi-final. Now, how on earth did he dig that out? What a return from Lee. So there are other players making their way onto the court here at the Gaeyang, but the concentration of the players isn't affected. And that of the Korean pair in particular, the #1 seeds, running away with this opening game. They lead 18-6. And once again, from a defensive position, able to produce a shot of wonderful placement to move within 2 points of taking this first game. So game point on the Yu serve. And just like that, it is all over. Game #1 in the books. And it has gone in favor of the #1 seeds, the Korean pair. Yeon Seong and Lee Yong-dae have taken the opening game 21-6. In what was something of a relentless onslaught once they found their rhythm. Just 13 minutes to put that game in the books. I'm not quite sure what Go and Tan can do about that. It must be quite dispiriting when you're producing your best shots directly into the body of your opponent. And not only are they coming back, but they're coming back producing winners and turning those defensive positions into winning ones. So the Malaysians back out on court if they hope to get more continental success to add to the Commonwealth title that they earned in Glasgow a few months ago. Well, they're going to have to force a deciding game here because they were overrun during the course of that first game by the tournament #1 seeds. All 4 players back out onto court. So Lee to serve, second game. Fantastic put away from Yu. And really, the intermission hasn't brought about a change in fortunes for the Malaysian pair. So for the first time since early on in the opening game, the Malaysians have a serve. 1-2. Well, despite the sprawling efforts of Lee, point goes in favor of Malaysia, and they take the lead. Terrific hustle, anticipation, the dive, and just getting a racket on it, but not able to keep the shuttle in bounds. So you to serve. 5-6. A spirited play from the Malaysians. Remember, they got to 6 points in the opening game before the number 1 seeds ran away with it. But this altogether more competitive than the opening game proved to be. Well, Lee celebrated that point enthusiastically. Brilliant overhead from you from deep in the back of the court. Just one win away and being in a position to add a doubles goal to the men's team goal they won earlier in this Asiad, the Koreans. But Malaysia, they of course want to book their place in the final. They lead by 2 in the opening exchanges of this semi. Lee just hammering, repeatedly knocking on the door, and ultimately Malaysia unable to respond. So it's a 1-point game. Lands in to extend their lead to 2. Tan, who made it through to the last 32 4 years ago in Guangzhou, has already performed far more impressively than he did back in the Asian Games in 2010. Wants to extend his stay in the tournament further. Appearing is as dominant as Yu and Lee, and the underdogs competing in such dogged fashion. You always have the sense that if the more experienced team can weather the storm, that they'll have the ability to pull away if it remains close down the stretch. But Go and Tan, they'll have other ideas, playing without the pressure of home expectation. Of course, that can be an inspiration as well as adding that pressure. And the shots that were falling in the opening game, just getting away from the number 1 seeds. And at the 11-point interval, it is the Malaysians who lead by 3, 11-8. Well, when it comes to playing at home, the Koreans have done all they can to help this tandem maximize that experience and not see it as a burden, not see it as extra pressure. But they've got a group of personnel for psychological and mental support, saying that the stress was able to be relieved for the pairing, particularly Lee Yong-dae, after giving him various exercises, including visualization, conversation as well. So now hoping to turn the crowd into a boost rather than a distraction. What a point! An exceptional rally, and rightly deserves the enthusiastic applause from the crowd. I suspect they're doing so because Korea have come out on top. But it was a sustained assault, withstood by Malaysia. Overhead after overhead, being hammered down. Eventually, they broke the Malaysian resistance and have made it a 1-point game. So you serving 10-11. But immense credit must go to the Malaysian pairing, because they're not allowing Yu and Lee to build up that head of steam they did during the first game, where they ran away with it 21-6. Perhaps easier to play when you have less to lose. But whatever the circumstances, the Malaysians are maximizing them and making this a very difficult second game for the #1 seeds. 13-10, they lead at the moment. Haven't been phased or overawed by the fervent home support the Malaysians are receiving, nor the reputation of the pair across the net from them. And the crowd sense that their involvement could well lift the spirits of the team representing Korea. Because every success that the Malaysians have, it's met with a rather uneasy and uncertain silence. And conversely, the success enjoyed by the Korean team is cheered heartily. Can they feed off that? Well, that serve is rather wasteful from Lee, and the advantage goes straight back to Malaysia. It's a 3-point cushion. Malaysia, perhaps their sense of belief strengthening. They can take a game from the world's #1 pairing. What a shot! Well, didn't land in bounds. But wonderful reflexes to even get a racket on that. Got it over the net. It was comfortably wide. It's a wonderful retrieval from Lee to keep his team in the point. And Tan couldn't return. So it's all square at 14 points apiece. And will this be the moment now where the tournament #1 seeds take this game by the scruff of the neck, because it's still anybody's for the taking. And they edge ahead. They have trailed for the majority of this second game. Got their noses in front here. And within sight of the gold medal game. Close up with every point. Just 5 of them required now. Go and Tan going to have to dig deep and to their reserves of competitive spirit to force a deciding game. Every overhead smash was cheered by the crowd in attendance here at the Kiong. And the final one was met with a crescendo of applause. Time after time, they were hammering them down, you providing the winner. A terrific overhead smash. What a punishing point. Absolutely incredible. And Korea take it. There were times during the course of that exchange that Yu was flat out on the court, hurling himself to keep the shuttle in play. There it was. Got back up quickly, terrific core strength, recovered, and then played some brilliant shots before the tide finally turned, and it was Korea who were able to get on top, and they were the finish. Rally of the entire match so far. Korea turning defense into attack. And they're getting ever closer to a place in the gold medal game. But Malaysia have won back serve. They're not going to give this up without a fight. 15-18. And whatever the outcome, the Malaysians can take huge confidence from this. Well, the crowd sense that the end is near now for the home team, the team representing Korea. Such are the exertions of the players that volunteers having to come on and wipe away the perspiration being spilled onto the court. Going to take one last supreme effort from the Malaysians to force the deciding game. The Koreans want to close it out on their serve. So match point. Agonizingly close from the Malaysian pair's point of view. It's match point for the #1 seeds. Absolute relief for the Korean team. They have just booked their place in the gold medal game in front of home fans who are absolutely jubilant up in the stands. Now they take the time to acknowledge them after a sporting exchange of pleasantries at the net. Tan Wee Kiong and Go V Shem put up a terrific fight, particularly in the second game. but the #1 seeds are through to the gold medal game, beating the pair from Malaysia 2 games to love. But didn't they make it a tussle during the course of that second game? This was a winning point, the match point. And that was the moment of confirmation and celebration. 21-6, 21-15, the tournament #1 seeds will contest for Asian Games gold in front of their home fans. The mission almost accomplished, but they want nothing less than top spot on the medal podium. Guaranteed themselves some championship hardware now, but they want to come away with Asian Games gold here in Incheon 2014.